Welcome back in, everybody, to another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be going through my fantasy football league that I do every year and going through my own personal rankings of the team. Obviously, it's before the season starts. There's just going to be a whole lot that changes. Injuries are going to happen. You know, some players are going to break out, surprisingly. But just before the season starts, I wanted to do my pre-week 1 rankings and decide who I think is at number 14, as this is a 14-man league, and then who is at number 1. And so I'm going to get started right away. I got my little cheat sheet here, because I will, obviously I'll go through them and then, you know, decide if I think they're still 14th in my rankings or not, or if I want to change some guys around. But 14th in my rankings starts off with Taylor Park Trash, and I will click onto them and we can check them out. This is my friend Jake Wagner's team. Oh, good old Jake. He's got Jaden Daniels, Jonathan Taylor. See, the thing is, I'm not too high on Jonathan Taylor's upside this year, which is why I'm putting him a bit lower. Caleb Johnson as well. You know, that Pittsburgh backfield is a little bit undecided between him and Jalen Warren. So, Puka Nacua, another player I'm not too high on. Although he is decent whenever he's healthy, but he did show that he was, you know, out for a couple games last year. Travis Kelce with age, and then starting Hollywood Brown down here. I don't know, maybe he's looking to put Khalil Shakir. The bench isn't too bad. I've even done a trade with him. I had Jonnu and Downs, and somebody else as well. Sam Darnold. Traded him Sam Darnold, Jonnu, and Downs. Got Jack Besh and Justin Fields, because I really wanted Fields for that QB1 upside. But I do like the bench. I like Tank Bigsby down here, Khalil Shakir. That may be the best part of this squad. And Jaden Daniels, of course, you got to talk about him. Mike Evans, another age thing. Him and Kelce in the same boat. They're going to produce points for you, but they're getting older, and they're not as good as they once were. So that's why I got him down here. Then you got the Bengals defense, man. Like, the Bengals, their defense is one of the worst in the league, and maybe this is just a week 1 pickup to play against Cleveland. They did pop off later in the season, in fantasy at least, but yes, I remember them having a lot of negative games in there. And I don't know why Hollywood Brown is starting. Rashee Rice is healthy now. Everything is good with him, I believe. So Khalil Shakir could easily pop into this flex spot. It is a 14-man league, so it's a little hard to capture talent. But we'll move on to the next team as we get to C Money, my number 13th team, and the one who requested me to make this video. This might be one that I switch around, actually. Let's see. And I am going to switch it around. Okay, so Jake is still definitely my number 14th team, but I'm going to switch it around. Team Matt is going to move down to number 13. Has a strugglesome team. The running backs are really the challenge here for him. I had to take another look at Casey's team there, and I said, you know what, I don't think he's the number 13th ranked. I made this a little bit ago, the rankings, so. But for Matt's team here, DeAndre Swift, man, that's just, and then Jalen Warren, like I said, with Caleb Johnson, you don't know how that Pittsburgh Steelers backfield is going to end up doing, so that's kind of bad. You have Zach Charbonnet, nice backup. Caleb Williams, I really like down here, but you have Jalen Hurts to start. Dobbs, I don't like much, or Demario Douglas. Bateman is inconsistent. Darren Waller, don't really know how he's going to play. Cam Scat is good, but I believe, yeah, he's questionable right now. He's an injury. It's still Tyron Tracy's backfield, so Cam Scatabo's got to find a way to get involved. Eagles defense down here is nice to have, and Jacoby Myers is one of the most underrated players in all of football. He's an absolute stud. Carried playoff runs last year. And then, obviously, you got to talk about his best playmakers. Got BTJ and then Malik Neighbors, which is awesome, but every team's going to end up having some superstars, some studs on it, and he's got BTJ and Malik Neighbors, but outside of that, I don't really see the talent there. You know, TJ Hawkinson, he's solid, but, you know, when he was dealing with that injury last season, he just did not come back and look the same. So that's really my my point here, is the weak running backs, not the most amazing flex in the world. Jacoby Myers is good, but at the same time, I think you could upgrade that flex. TJ Hawkinson and then Cairo Santos is nothing special, and the bench is pretty weak as well. So I'm gonna head on to my, let's see, this would be my 12th ranked team. Yep, 14, 13, 12. And let me see how he compares. All right, I'm still gonna keep I was going to say, maybe I'll slide in Casey at this spot. No, I think his team is pretty good, or so C Money. But no, yeah, this team from the get-go, this team sucks. Mr. Marvin decided to pick Josh Allen with, I want to say, the 5th or the 6th overall pick. And man, that is where you make the mistake of your draft. You do not draft a quarterback at that ADP. Like Josh Allen's a stud, no question, but he was going to fall to the 2nd, 3rd round. So, outside of that, he built a decent squad. Bucky's nice, but you don't know how he's going to perform. He could have had that amazing freshman season and then struggle this year, and I know they want to involve Rashad White and Sean Tucker in the offense too, so James Conner I like, but could fall off a decent amount. Zay Flowers, such an inconsistent wide receiver last year, had him. He was not fun. Jalen Waddle can hopefully get back to where he was, but he was another one, really inconsistent. Tucker Kraft, nothing special at tight end. He's solid. He was relatively consistent, I want to say, at least 7 points or more a game. And then Brian Robinson at flex. Struggled after that injury last season, but maybe one of the better pieces on this team. T-Law is not the best fantasy quarterback. Bashal Tutin is a rookie who is the 3rd stringer. Trey Benson, it's good that you have the handcuff. Keon Coleman, maybe another one of the good players on this team, and then Reed is just very inconsistent. So I don't really see a lot of the vision with this team, although he gets some points for having players such as James Conner, Bucky Irving, Josh Allen, and B-Rob I even think can be pretty solid this year. The Bears defense, also another nice piece to have, so that's kind of why I have him ranked above. But I do think if he ended up not picking Josh Allen as early, he could have built a much better squad, more well-rounded. You're kind of living off the playmakers for this one, for Bucky, Connor, Allen, and then you got the inconsistent Zay Flowers and Waddle. But I really do, I like the bench outside of T-Law and Tutin, and Matt Gay's fine. Chigo Okonkwo, underrated, little backup tight end. And then maybe Jaden Reed can turn it up this year. I think that's when I'm going to get to my next team. Check out Team Tyler. Really a great name for Mr. Tyler out here. And you know what? I do think this is where I'm going to end up slotting in Casey. C-Money is another one of those teams. I have him ranked above Marvin for a reason, of course. Or this team sucks. But he is going to be down as my team number 11. Yeah, because Marvin was 12. So Casey's going to be my 11th ranked team, and I'm going to give you a reason for that. I really do love his team. I think he's got a decent squad going on here. The bench, very, very weak bench. The running backs, very good. But does McCaffrey come back and not get injured? That is a scary sight to see. Derrick Henry, age, does he regress a little? I don't entirely see... I do see some of the vision with this team. Colston Loveland, another one. He is the tight end too. Cole Kmet is starting. Obviously, the Bears are going to want to use him, but I don't see him being a very consistent tight end in his first year. He's more of a great pick for dynasty leagues. But the Courtland Sutton pick I really love. Garrett Wilson, we'll see how he does with Justin Fields at quarterback. And Jameson, although having a really good year last year, is a little bit inconsistent. A little too inconsistent for my taste with the highs and the lows. But if you like a player like that can get you 25 points, 30 points in a week, and then maybe in a 9-pointer the next week, then I say, yeah, go for Jameson Williams. And then I really love Drake May up here too. But like I said, this bench is really weak. You have wide receiver 3 or 4 on the team, Christian Kirk, Woody Marks, Keaton Mitchell, not going to start. Nick Westbrook-Akine is fine. And then you got Tajay here, who that's actually a pretty good pickup. And then Javonte, who's technically starting, but I don't think anybody is going to end up doing good on that Dallas squad. So it's really a big question at this point. So, but yeah, that's why I have him ranked above some of the others. He's got that high-end upside, and this is a decently well-rounded team as well, which is what I really like. I love Drake May, but there's questions. He's got 2 very old running backs. McCaffrey mostly has injury questions. So definitely got to watch out for that there. And then, like I said, Colston Loveland, so I'm just not trusting that he has the most amazing year, and a little bit of inconsistency from Jameson Williams. As we get to our number 10 ranked team, and obviously for a team like Casey, I can see him easily ending up popping off, making the playoffs. Like, I see that team, but I have to kind of rank him at his floor because I don't trust how some of the players are going to come look and say. Colston Loveland, he comes out as a rookie and he pops off. I can see that team doing a whole lot better. But you got to look for the more well-rounded teams, and that's why I'm looking at Team Tyler, one of the most well-rounded teams in the league. I'm even thinking about pushing him up, honestly. Let me look at who I have next up. You know what? I do actually like this team slightly better based on the high-end upside. Dak Prescott, I don't know if I really trust him coming back from injury. That is one of the biggest questions I have. The Jets defense is a nice pickup, but the 3 rookie running backs is something that I question a little bit. RJ Harvey splitting the backfield, J.K. Dobbins. Denver sometimes doesn't know how to utilize running backs to the best of their ability, so they'll kind of send out 2 or 3 at a time or throughout the game. But the Rashee Rice pick, with him being all good to go, amazing pick and great value. You get Brock Bowers, he's the tight end 1 on the squad. Absolutely great pickup. CeeDee Lamb, one of the best receivers in football, should pop off even more. And you have the Dak and the CD stack, which is really nice to see. Although he does have 3 rookie running backs, I am high on all 3 of these guys. And I think this is such a well-rounded team that I'm even thinking about moving them up. I just think a lot of people have built their teams really well. And I got to keep them kind of down here at the 10 spot because I'm kind of ranking them at the floor. And when you have this many rookies starting, that's really like a major question. But obviously, like I said with Casey's team, like these rookies, they go and they pop off, and then I easily see this team being a playoff team. Other teams, they have players that have played for seasons, and they could end up regressing, and I can see them being out of the playoff race. You know, you never know with fantasy. That's kind of what makes it fun. Emeka Ibuka down here as well. But a lot of rookies on this team. We'll see. Not all rookies do amazing, but I do like the squad, and I think it's very well-rounded. A solid bench, decent. I don't like Rome too much, or Jaden Blue, or the double up on defenses is fine. But yeah, Team Tyler, number 9 team. And next I'm going to get to my team, actually. Where is my team at? I'll just go on to here. Bijan and the boys. This is my team, and obviously Jack Betch not going to start. Terry McLaurin or Godwin going to go in there. Most likely Terry McLaurin. So you figure this team. Terry McLaurin, Evan Ingram, Devontae Adams. And me personally, I like this team because I think I really did well with the wide receivers, which is why I have myself ranked at number 9. I see myself as one of the mid-ranging teams, but I put myself above a couple of the other teams like Tyler and Casey because running backs, while being very important in fantasy, wide receivers and having elite ones will win you the league. And then you want to have decent running backs as well. You want to have a well-rounded team. Me, right here, I have the possible QB1 to QB5 upside of Justin Fields, which is absolutely amazing. Dobbins going to run it on the bench. A solid backup to have. Isaac Guerrero, if Christian McCaffrey goes down, nice to have. We got Zach Ertz here as well, a solid tight end. I grabbed Hunter Renfrow just for a little bit of upside. Might end up dropping him. And then Godwin and McLaurin both on the bench. I've utilized my IR spots to my advantage as well, trying to just get as many slots on the squad as I can. Cam Little really liked that preseason 70-yard field goal, so I took him up and took Tyler Loop as well. So we got both of them. But yeah, I think Adams this year in that Rams offense, Stafford is going to air that ball out, and I do actually see him being more of a wide receiver 1 on the Jets than not, or not the Jets, the Rams than not. JSN popped off last year. I think him and Cooper Kupp are going to continue to pop off in the Seattle offense. And then down here, Terry McLaurin just had one of his best seasons with Jaden Daniels. I know there's a holdout for the contract, but I do believe once he ends up getting his contract, he's going to pop off. So, and then I have Giants defense and Cardinals defense. Cardinals for week 1, Giants for possibly more time in the season. But yeah, I really do like the squad. Obviously got Bijan Robinson with that first overall pick. You got Herbert, or interchangeable with Fields. And then Quinshon Judkins just was acquitted of his charges. So we have him slotting into the starting spot. I am very high on him. And then Tyler Loop, or we can end up throwing in Cam Little at kicker. But yeah, and Evan Ingram as well. Bo Nix is going to love throwing to his tight ends. And I think Evan Ingram, in every single game last year that he was healthy, he was putting up, like 7 points or more, except he was injured in this game. 7 points or more. He is a phenomenal tight end to have and a real sleeper For this draft, I went with more of the players that I really like instead of just going for absolute talent. So tried to build a well-rounded squad. But yeah, that's why I have myself ranked at number 9. Now we get to Burrows Before Hose, which is actually my dad. What a great name. As we check out his team, he is playing my uncle week 1. Very fun matchup there. Not even a rivalry week, just ESPN randomly matched them up against each other. Very fun. And I really like his team because I think it's one of the teams that does both things. So you're building off some of the upside of these guys, such as a Chase Brown or a Stephon Diggs, but you're also utilizing the fact of talent and these players being consistent over time. George Kittle has been one of the top fantasy. He was amazing last year. One of the top fantasy tight ends. Chase Brown, you're betting on that upside. Devon Achane, betting on that continued upside. That these players continue to get good, and they are. But the thing is, unlike rookies and ranking players that have rookies on their team, these players have already proved it. Devon Achane had an amazing season last year. Chase Brown, same thing. Joe Burrow always finishes as it's at least a top 10 quarterback in fantasy. He's going to continue to throw the ball to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. He's got Mike Gesicki and Noah Fant out there, so that's fun. And I like the Cooper Kupp option as a flex. Also, really like his bench. You got Blake Corum in case anything happens to Kyron. He's a talented guy. Tight end Brent Strange, one of my major sleepers. Same with J.J. McCarthy. And then Rashid Shaheed is a dog as well in case you need to slot him into the flex. Chris Olave, you never know. Injuries can always happen. So I really like this team. I think it's very well-rounded. You got to talk about Broncos defense as well. One of the best defenses in the league. And Chris Boswell. So he is ranked as my number 8 team. Devontae Smith, Diggs. Kind of your weaker links, but I still think they're going to all have a decent season. And wide receivers are important in fantasy, so at least if you have some solid ones, that is always good. So we'll get to the next team, and that will be Practice Squad. And we'll check out Practice Squad. Practice Squad is, I don't know, kind of a bipolar type team, and the thing is you're not even worried about upside or anything. You're just worried about injuries. Isaiah Pacheco, he's coming back from an injury. T. Higgins gets the injury bug throughout each season he's been in, I want to say, besides maybe one. And then Marvin Harrison, does he have that sophomore breakout? If he does, I think this is a much better team. I think this team is top 5 easily. But then you have Jacobs, and I do think Pacheco's going to come back and look nice. And overall, it's just a solid team. And like I said, in fantasy, you got to be well-rounded. So even the bench I do like here. Jared Goff is your backup. Pollard on the bench. Valuable flex or running back option if you need him to be. And then Quentin Johnston. He popped off last year. He really did. He was a bit inconsistent, but he had a decent amount of touchdowns, decent amount of solid games. Michael Wilson, wide receiver, too. And then Cam Dicker, you got to love him as your kicker there, too. Steelers defense, one of the best in the league. But yeah, overall, just like Practice Squad for his well-roundedness. Even the bench, he's got a really well-rounded team. And I'm not going to bet on the 2-time champion of our league to end up doing worse than 8th. So he is pretty damn good. Right, 8th or 7th. 7th. This is our 7th overall team. I can't count, apparently. I'm not going to bet on... We've played this league for 3 years, going into the 4th season, and this team has won twice, back-to-back years. I'm not going to bet on him to do any worse than 7th overall. As we get to LeBroni's. Mr. Anthony's team... I really do like his team. I don't like David Montgomery too much, but the receivers are fun, and I think DK has some wide receiver 5, wide receiver 10 level upside. Drake London had an absolutely amazing year last year with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix at quarterback. Brandon McManus is kind of your weak point there, and I don't think the Niners defense does as well. But I really like the bench as well for a team like Anthony. Just picked up Russell Wilson. Brandon Ayuk on the IR slot. I do think if he comes back, he will kind of look like his old self, which is why I'm betting on a player like Chris Godwin. Obviously, you get Genty, and he has that RB1 upside. Kenny Walker. Got to make sure he stays healthy, but he's been a proven running back for years. A decently well-rounded team, and Mark Andrews even popped off late in the season last year. You can see double-digit games. like I said, outside of that, don't like David Montgomery too much or Jordan Love. So I am definitely thinking about moving him down a bit. Then you have Travis Etienne, who's technically the starting running back in Jacksonville. Dylan Sampson you have as well in case anything happens with Judkins. Overall, a pretty solid team as well, but I just have him ranked above some of the competition because I like London, Metcalf, Walker, Genty a bit better. Mark Andrews even solid. And, there's nothing wrong with Jordan Love or Montgomery. It's just me betting, it's my own personal biases or my own personal take on their upside. So, as we get to Team Will, Mr. William B. And his team can even be higher than this. This is one of the teams where he's able to pick up mostly proven, it's literally all like proven players that have been in the league. And that's usually a method for success. I mean, the two-time champ himself, Mr. Practice Squad, every single year he's just picking up those consistent players. He's not even really gunning for rookies. That's the thing. You grab Jahmyr Gibbs here with the 3rd overall pick. We traded. I got Bijan. He got Jahmyr Gibbs. One of the best running backs in football right there. A top 2 to 3 guy. And you get Lamar Jackson. QB1 option right there. Ferguson, I do think, has a better year with Dak throwing him the ball. Ravens defense you get as well. I think they're going to be absolutely amazing. Having 2 Dallas players is a bit of a turnoff, but I think George Pickens is going to pop off because you have CD to feed Pickens. Pickens is going to be able to pick on those boundary corners. So, and then you got DJ Moore and Ladd McConkey. And like I said, receivers are so important. DJ Moore going to pop off this year. Ladd McConkey. And Tracy is even a good option at RB2. Like, I even wish I picked him up. And then the bench here is really nice. Kyle Pitts, we hope Kyle Pitts does good. It's maybe finally his year. I don't really know. We'll see how that goes. But then you got, Ramondre Stevenson. He's fine. Darnell Mooney is a great pickup. Xavier Legette is solid. Michael Penix was one of my sleepers. And then Wandale is a solid option too. So I really like his team. And well-roundedness, like I said, is important. And that's another part of that team. As we get to... That's Purdy. Oh, wait, changed his name. A true believer. And I absolutely love this team. A lot of people going into the draft were like, I don't like this team that much. Like after the draft had concluded. They don't like the Travis Hunter pick. Are you kidding me? I love Travis Hunter. He is a stud. Gonna play both wide receiver and corner. I don't know if he's gonna make it work. But the taking a rookie, like, you gotta take rookies in fantasy because they're going to show you some value. Bo Nix popped off last year. Chuba Hubbard absolutely popped off last year. Aaron Jones I really liked as a sleeper option. And then you get Jefferson and A.J. Brown. Are you kidding me? Jefferson and A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is going to do even better than last year. He was injured a lot last year. There was some Devo-related things that they were going through. He's going to pop off, though. And you get the best receiver in football, the best kicker in football. Texans defense I'm pretty high on this year as well. And Dallas Goedert was one of my late-round tight ends that I would have loved to pick. And one thing about this team, this is my uncle's team, every year he has an awesome bench. I love the bench. Cam Ward as your backup. Perfect. Rookie quarterback. You got Mike Gesicki. Keenan Allen, who's back on the Chargers, great option. Adam Thielen always does good each year, even in Carolina. Jerome Ford in case anything happens in the Cleveland backfield. And then Marvin Mims is just solid to have. Roshan Johnson, same thing. If something happens to DeAndre, great to have. This is a well-rounded team, but it's not just well-rounded. It takes the next step above. Really love this team. So check out Hello Neighbor, who doesn't even have Malik Neighbors anymore, but that's okay because he's got an even better squad this year, I want to say. And he made playoffs last year, so that's saying a lot. Tyler Warren, the fact that he is sitting on your bench in a 14-man league is absolutely amazing. Najee, you got on IR. He's using those IR spots to his advantage. Ricky Pearshaw is going to pop off in the flex for him, and if not, he's got options like Burden, Trey Harris, Jordan Addison when he comes back. That's another good guy to have. Matthew Stafford is the backup. He doesn't usually do too good in fantasy, but I would still easily take him. And then you got Jalen Nailor. And then, like I said, up here, Sam Laporta wasn't too high on that pick, but I love the Judy and the Tyreek Hill pick and the Pearshaw. And then you have he's always got amazing running backs. Last year it was Derrick Henry and Saquon. This year you got Saquon and Kyron, and then Mahomes is just a good pick to slot in there. Grab Jake Elliott, too. You got the Philadelphia kicker. He's going to put up some points. This is well-rounded, but taking it to the next level. Sam Laporta, kind of my only question mark on this squad. And then he grabbed a couple of rookies, so just taking a bet on them. And we'll see how Najee does coming back from injury. But Jordan Addison, another guy, just sitting on the bench here, suspended. But when he comes back, great option to throw into your flex. And I love the running backs. They're absolutely amazing. And in a 14-man league, you need to have amazing running backs. As we're going to get to my number 2 team. I love this team because I've actually grown to love Calvin Ridley more recently. With Cam Ward throwing him the ball, I think he's going to pop off and begin to look like the receiver he's supposed to be. I think he's got some wide receiver 5 to 10 upside. Love the bench for this team. The defense I'm a little skeptical on. And then David Njoku, he's just very consistent every single year. Very consistent, yeah. Like, when he's healthy, he's consistent, but he's been a little unhealthy. Xavier Worthy, you slot into there. I don't know if I like that too much at the flex spot, but then you have all these options. Jordan Mason could take over that backfield. Jawan Jennings is going to be nice to have. Kendre Miller. What happens with Kamara? You got Kamara's handcuff right here. That's great to have. And then you got Jalen McMillan. I really do like this bench a lot. But then you got to talk about the ancillary playmakers that are right here up at the top. Jamar Chase may finish the season as wide receiver 1 in fantasy. Kamara, the dude is so damn consistent. It's insane. Doesn't matter what age he is. James Cook just signed a massive contract. Does that mean he regresses, or does that mean he pops off this season? I don't really know. And then you have Baker Mayfield as well. So Baker Mayfield popped off in fantasy. I love these starters right here. Down here, I'm a little more skeptical about, but then again, you can change your kicker out if you need to, your defense, or your flex, and you have some great options to do so down here on the bench. So I love chasing touchdowns just for that, having Chase and Kamara and Cook and Mayfield and Njoku do. I just love that squad altogether as we get to the number 1 squad. And no, this was not based off of his own rankings. This is based off me. I think this team has the option to go all the way and win it all this season. This is my number 1 team for a reason. My friend Ryan, I'm on drugs. He is definitely on drugs occasionally. But, look, all right. So you got Nick Chubb, and then you have Joe Mixon. Both guys, whoever does good in Houston, he's going to have, Joe Mixon when he's back and starting. Let's just start at the top here. All right. Kyler Murray. I think he's going to have one of his best seasons this year. Marvin Harrison, breakout. Michael Wilson, breakout. Trey McBride, he's out there. Kyler Murray's going to pop off, and he can run the ball. Breece Hall. A lot of people are so low on Breece Hall. I think he's still going to be a solid running back, at least a top 15 option. And then you have him. So this is very well-rounded. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He didn't have his most amazing year last year, but he still popped off. He is going to be a beast. Him and Jameson, no question, for the Lions. Tedero McMillan, one of my favorite rookies of the class, and I wish I could have gotten him. If I didn't gun for so many wide receivers, I would have grabbed him up. That's a great option. Him, Chris Olave, and Amon-Ra, that is an amazing trio. And you know why? Amon-Ra, receiver 1 on the team. He's going to get fed the ball in the slot. Tedero McMillan, receiver 1 on the squad. Going to get fed the ball a lot, him and Adam Thielen. But when you need somebody to go up and get that ball, he may be a little inconsistent at first, but he's going to get it. He's going to be a touchdown machine, I'm feeling. Chris Olave, there's no other playmakers on the team besides Rashid Shaheed. As long as he stays healthy, and that's a big if, Chris Olave is going to be a top option in fantasy, which is why I was trying to trade for him. And then Trey McBride, you get, possible tight end 1 right on your squad. Commanders defense got upgraded this offseason. Evan McPherson. And then what we really need to talk about is the bench. As I said, Joe Mixon, you slot him in for Chubb, whoever does good in Houston, you have that player. Unless it's Woody Marks, which would be really crazy. Braylon Allen, you also have, you have Breece Hall, and then you have his handcuff right here. If Braylon Allen takes over the backfield, you're not even worried about it because you have him. And I know it's on the Jets, and this is on the Texans, so you got to deal with those. If the Jets just suck this year, then maybe their running backs do as well. But then you get Bryce Young as your backup quarterback. Could even slot him in to be the starter. I think a breakout season is in order. Jaden Higgins, I love. And you have a whole bunch of Houston playmakers here. Michael Pittman, you could just slot him in easily. He's a year off that back injury now. Played all throughout it last season. And then Rachaad White, he's going to be a great pass catcher. And if Bucky goes down, you have him. K-Dot as a backup tight end is a fine option as well. So that's why he is my first overall team. I think this is one of the best teams where it's like the well-roundedness does not overpower. Like there's not certain players really overpowering and making this team exceptional, but it is well-rounded where I could see week in, week out he's popping off. And Ryan here also has amazing waiver wire pickups, so that is something. And he is also really good at making trades, so you have to take some of that into account. Some of the other teams in the league, they won't pick up players on the waiver wire. They won't make trades. That is an important part of fantasy football. It's how you win games. It's how he has made the playoffs 2 years in a row and has made the championship game once. So, but yeah, that is going to be the end of this video for me. I hope you guys all liked it as we go and check out the rosters one more time. But yeah, these were all teams. If you guys agree with my rankings, if you disagree, let me know down below. I know my rankings are going to change a whole lot, and preseason, you can't really tell who's going to end up doing that good. But yeah, I really like these squads, and I'm very excited for fantasy football. The season is coming. It is right around the corner, so if you guys are very excited, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys all for the next video, probably doing some more Jets franchise.